Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool and welcome back to the second session on a chapter called Crop Production and Management for the class 8th. Okay, so in the previous session, we have seen the introduction part of the chapter, and I already told you what are the different steps that you have to follow during the cultivation of crops or the production of crops. And we have seen the different steps, like the first one is preparation of a soil, and later sowing, after that adding manure, then irrigation, right? And after that removal of weeds, and later comes your harvesting, and finally you have to store the food, right? So these are the different steps altogether, the 7 steps that you have to study. And now I'm going to give a detailed explanation about the first step of agricultural practices, that is preparation of soil. So, what do you mean by preparation of soil, and why you have to prepare the soil is the first important question that you have to understand. You see here, whenever you try to grow a particular crop, you will select a particular land, but the land look very hard, isn't it? The soil looks very hard. You can't sow the seeds as it is on a hard soil, isn't it? So what you have to do is you have to dig the soil, make it turn and make it loose. The soil must be very, very loose. Only then you can sow the seeds properly and the plants would grow nicely, right? So the first step is you have to dig that hard soil, make it soft by turning it and by digging it. This process we will call it as tilling or plowing. Okay, so try to remember this particular definition. The process of turning and loosening of soil is called what? It is called as tilling. Okay, or it can also be called with the name plowing. Okay, so okay, now we understood what do you mean by tilling or plowing. It's like a process of digging a soil and making it loose, making it turn is called as plowing. Okay, so now the next important thing is why we need to plow the soil, why plowing is necessary, why we have to make the soil loose, why we have to turn the soil. What is the reason behind this is very, very important to understand. Okay, so here the first point is, when you make the soil loose, when you turn the soil, the roots can grow deep into the soil and the roots can breathe properly. They can able to absorb the nutrients better. Okay, so when soil is loose, when you dig the soil becomes loose, isn't it? It becomes dry. You will have a space between the soil particles where roots can grow nicely and they can absorb the minerals properly. That's what I'm going to write now. When soil is loose, you know what happens? Roots grow deeper and absorb water and nutrients better. Okay, so this is the first reason why you have to turn the soil or make it loosen, right? And coming to the second point, when the soil is loose and when you turn the soil, this helps. Plowing helps to grow microorganisms and earthworms. Okay, so what is the use of earthworms or microorganisms that should be there in a soil? So it is these microorganisms and earthworms which help the roots to grow deeper. Okay, so earthworms makes the soil very much loose. Say you have made the soil loose by ploughing, and that creates the formation of microorganisms, or earthworms will come in that place, and earthworms make the soil much more loose, and it will help for the roots to grow deeper, and it will help for the better absorption of water and minerals. Okay, and coming to the third point, and by ploughing or tilling, the top soil becomes rich with nutrients and humus. So what do you mean by humus is the dead leaves and organisms. Okay, so whenever the living organisms or the plants die, these, when they fall on a ground, they are decomposed by microorganisms, and that's what gets converted into humus, and that adds nutrition to the soil. Okay, that's how nutrients gets enter into a soil. So that humus is very much necessary for the better growth of a plant. So when you turn the soil, the bottom soil will come up, the topmost soil will go down, so that what happens is all that humus and nutrients will nicely get mixed up, and they may come onto a top. Then when you sow a seed, it may grow better. The best nutrition can be available for the seeds that you are sowing, right? So these are the three reasons why you have to plow a soil or till a soil. Clear? So now we understood what is ploughing, what is tilling, and why you need to do the entire process. Now, how do you plow? Okay, so how do you plow? So by what technique do you use for ploughing? Or I can say the tools used for ploughing. That's what we are going to discuss now. The first thing we use is plow only. We call a tool called plow, right? You will have a long wooden rod. To that, one triangular iron piece is fixed, and it will be held by the bulls. Bulls will carry that, and that's how ploughing takes place. That is one instrument. I'll explain it in detail. And the second instrument is, this is hoe. This is a common thing we observe in our gardens also. We use this in our gardens, like it's a wooden rod will be there. To that, one flat sharp iron piece is fixed, holding a wooden rod, and we will keep digging the soil, right? Say that instrument we will call it as hoe. And the third instrument, that the modern technique that we are using nowadays, is cultivator. Okay, so cultivator is fixed with a tractor. So as the tractor moves, cultivator will have sharp iron ends. Okay, so that will dig the soil. That helps for turning the soil. So these are the three tools that we can use for ploughing. Now we will discuss what do you mean by plow, what is hoe, and what is cultivator in detail. And I'll show you a beautiful visual also on these things. So guys, how does a plow look like? Have you ever seen a plow? Yes, it's a normal tool that we use it for a ploughing. It was used to a larger extent in the olden days. Even now it can be used. You know what, have you ever remember this particular situation where you will have a iron rod which are held by the bull, right? So we will use a bull here. This is bull number 1, this is bull number 2. Okay, so this rod is held on the necks of a bull, and to this one more rod would be there, and this will have actually a triangular shaped iron rod, right? And here, using this, man will hold this as a holder. Okay, and this is a sharp iron rod which is fixed into a soil. Here, as the bulls go on, the man holding the handle also move behind, and then along with that, this sharp iron edge which is there in a soil will also be moved. That's how it will dig the soil, and it will turn the soil, isn't it? That's all about the plow, I can say here. If I have to draw its diagram neatly, and this is, and here is something, this is called as a beam. Actually, this is called as a beam, okay, which is carried by two bulls. It will be kept on the necks of two bulls, right? And this is there, no, this is called as plow shaft. This is called as plow shaft. And there would be a triangular rod that is fixed on this plow shaft, and this is what I'm talking about. This is called as plowshare, and you will understand this better when I show the visual also, don't worry. So this is how the plow actually looks like. And coming to hoe, I'm talking about hoe, isn't it? And hoe is nothing but a long wooden piece, a long wooden piece it is, okay, to which flat iron piece is attached. Iron piece is attached, okay. Say, and manually the ploughing is done with the help of a hoe. You'll have a long wood rod, okay, and to that one iron piece is attached, and with the help of a long hood, the man will hold the hoe and he will try to dig the soil. And this iron, flat iron sharp piece is there, no, that is what actually digs the soil, and you can turn that way, right? So this is done manually. I mean, man does on his own with his hands with the help of hoe. Okay, so that's about the hoe. And coming to the third tool, that is cultivator, right? And this cultivator is the it's a big instrument which contain many iron blades. We call it as iron blades. Gets attached to tractor. Okay, so as the tractor moves, it will carry these iron blades also. Iron blades will try to dig the soil, and it will try to turn and loosen the soil, okay. And among the three methods, cultivator is the most effective tool, I can say. It is because it can save the time. It saves the time, okay, and labor also. And it's not that many people are required for ploughing. Just one man is enough. That is the person who can drive a tractor is enough, right? Because as the tractor moves, the blades would move, which are attached to a tractor, and those blades will try to dig the soil. So among the three, the most effective method is using cultivator, which can save the time, and it can save the labor also, isn't it? So now let us see a beautiful visual on all the three tools, that how we can use them and how they look like. Look at the visual on ploughing methods, guys. Say the first method is using a plow, right? With the help of bulls. You can see the plow, how a person is using here. See, this is the handle he is holding, and this is what we call plowshare, okay. It has iron thing which is digging the mud or a land, and you have a long plow shaft, right, and a beam which is held by the bulls. So you can observe with the help of a plow how a person is ploughing his land, right? Say the bulls are pulling, the bulls are taking that beam, right, and that way the person is actually ploughing. And this is ploughing with the help of hoe. Hoe is nothing but this only, a wooden thing for which a flat iron piece is fixed. So he is digging it, and this is actually a completely very tiring job, isn't it? A person has to spend his energy and lots of time, and it's a slow way of ploughing also. But anyway, this is one of the ploughing technique in the olden days where people used to use. But when you have a big piece of land, like lots of field, then it's better to plow with the help of tractor, isn't it? Which we call it as cultivator, right? Which you will see next.
say I'm showing you the cultivator now with the help of a tractor, how we can plow a land. You can see a person is driving a tractor is attached to this cultivator which has got blades, right? So these blades are actually digging the mud, isn't it? See, this is actually, saves lots of time and also lots of manpower, energy, right? One person is enough to plow large piece of land, right? So these are the three methods of ploughing which is followed by people, and this is how preparation of soil for the crop can be done with different techniques of ploughing.
So guys, hope you enjoyed watching a beautiful visual on ploughing tools, isn't it? So after preparation of a soil, that means after ploughing, we will go for the next step of the crop production, that is sowing. Okay. So what do you mean by sowing? Sowing is nothing but a process of placing seeds in a soil is called as sowing. Okay, so after ploughing, you have to put the seeds in a soil so that the seeds will grow up as a plant, isn't it? So that process we will call it as a sowing. Fine. And you know what, the first step of sowing is checking the quality of a seed. Okay, so selection of seeds is very important here. So I would like to discuss about selection of seeds. Okay, so here what I would tell you is select the good quality seeds. Select the good quality seeds. Okay, so how do you know that the seeds have a good quality or a bad quality? That you can done with the help of a small activity. Okay, so why you have to select a good quality seeds? You have to select good quality seeds for better yield. Okay, if you want to get nice yield, a more amount of, say if you're growing a paddy crop, if you want to get more amount of paddy, the seed must be healthy and the seeds must have a better quality. Clear? So now, how to check whether the seeds have a quality or not? You can do this activity even at your home. You can take some seeds. Okay, say for example in a bowl, let me take a bowl, okay, where I have a seeds. You know what, I have some good seeds and I also have some bad seeds in this, and I would not be knowing which is a good seed and which is a bad seed, isn't it? And these seeds, when I put it in a water, say here I would be taking a beaker full of water. Clear? And the moment I add seeds, you know what, few seeds will go at the bottom of a beaker and settle. Few seeds will go into the water, they will settle at the bottom, and few seeds will remain top, they keep floating on a water, right? So here some seeds have a quality, some seeds do not have a quality. So among the two types of seeds, say some seeds are going at the bottom and they are settled, and some seeds are remaining on the surface of a water, on the top of a water, right? And here the seeds which are there on top of a water are bad quality seeds. So these are bad quality seeds. Okay, and the seeds which are there at the bottom, they went at the bottom and settled, they are good quality seeds. Good quality seeds. Can you tell me why these seeds are floating? These seeds are floating is because they are floating because they are hollow. Okay, because they are hollow and they are spoiled seeds. So nothing is there inside, everything is hollow, everything is empty. Okay, so that's what we mean by hollow, right? So the seeds are very much hollow, whereas the seeds which are heavy, means something is there in a seed, then only it can be heavy, right? So those heavier seeds will go at the bottom and settle. Clear? So this is how you will do selection of seeds. Fine. And after that, you know what? On a big land, human beings are not enough to sow the seeds. We can't sow with our hands. It will take lot of time and energy. So to avoid that, when you have a big piece of a land, you will take the help of certain instruments or certain tools, right? So now we are going to discuss about tools for sowing. Tools for sowing. Like we had seen the tools for ploughing, isn't it? Similarly, we have tools for sowing also. Here we can use the traditional tools, and we can also use the modern tools like seed drill. Seed drill, this seed drill is a modern tool that we are using nowadays, and we can go for traditional tools also. Let us discuss in detail about the traditional tools as well as seed drill, that is modern tool. You know what, guys? Our traditional tool contains a funnel. It will contain a funnel with two or three pipes. Okay, pipes with sharp ends. I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, sharp ends. You know what? What do you mean by a funnel? It's like an opening. Okay, so this is what we mean by funnel. Okay, and this funnel will be connected to two or three pipes, and these pipes will have sharp ends. These pipes would have sharp ends. Okay, and you know what? These pipes we will fix it in a soil, and this is our soil, right? This we will connect to a long hood, and that hood would be carried by the bulls. Okay, so the people start adding seeds into a funnel, and these seeds would go through these long pipe like structures, and these ends of the pipes are into the soil. No, so through these pipes the seeds are going into the soil. They are going into the soil. Okay, so this is the traditional tool that we will use for the sowing. It will have a funnel. Into the funnel we will leave the seeds, and the seeds will go to these pipes, and through the pipes they are entering into a soil. Okay, so very traditional method. Even now this method is used in various parts of India actually, right? And the newest method is using a seed drill. Seed drill. Okay, so seed drill is a machine that is connected to tractor. So this is a special machine connected to tractor. So as the tractor moves, the seed drill also moves. Seed drill will have a compartment called a box like structure where the seeds are placed, and it will have a rod like structures which goes deep into the soil. Through these rods actually seeds are going deep into the soil. Okay, actually seed drill is more advantageous over traditional tool. Okay, it's because the seed drill distributes the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth. Okay, so seeds are placed in depth, and they are placed with equal distance. Okay, and you would have a gap between one seed and another. If one seed is here, the other one is here. There's nice gap, and there's a particular pattern in placing the seeds. You can see the pattern, right? So this is how there is a gap uniformly, and seeds are really very deep into the soil. Okay, so that you can avoid eating of these seeds by the birds. If they are there on a surface, if the bird sees those seeds, they will eat it. In the traditional tool method, the seeds that you put it on a soil is really very much top. The birds can see the seeds most of the time. So when it is something like this, the birds would eat off the seeds, isn't it? See, here in the seed drill method, you can place the seeds really very deep so that the birds cannot see the seeds, and you can avoid eating these seeds by birds. isn't it? So this is the advantage of seed drill compared to traditional tool. Clear? So what is the advantage? Seed drill distributes the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth. Okay, and this avoids, I can say, one more point, this avoids eating of seeds by birds. So this is another advantage of sowing the seeds with the help of seed drill, right? And one more thing is it can save the time and labor. Saves the time and labor. Clear? So this is another advantage. So guys, let us end the session by seeing a beautiful visual. So in my next class, I will come up with the remaining steps. See, today's class we have discussed about preparation of soil and sowing. In my next video, I'll talk about the third step in the crop production, that is adding manure and fertilizer, and after that we'll talk about the irrigation also. So till then, take care and keep revising the topic, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way, and share the videos to your friends also. Thank you so much.
Guys, let us understand the sowing techniques now. This is a traditional sowing technique. You can see this is a funnel. The person is adding seeds to a funnel, and the funnel is connected to 4 rods. You can see that blue color rods, and these rods have a sharp ends. There would be some holes here. So through the holes, the seeds will fall onto a ground and they'll get fixed in a ground, right? So this is how the sowing is done. You see, continuously the seeds are getting added to funnel. So through these blue rods, the seeds are going to the ground. And this funnel is moved with the help of bulls. So person is riding a bull, right? So that's how this particular instrument can be moved. You can clearly see how they are moving that funnel wherever they want, right? See, you can see from this weave very clearly. He is adding seeds to a funnel. So through blue rods they are going, and they are getting added to the ground, right? So that's how the seeds are added. And this is seed drill, guys. Okay, so this is seed drill. You can see this is a long container. Here the seeds are getting added, right? And through these pipes, you can see this white color pipes. Through these pipes the seeds will get fixed onto a ground, and you can put the seeds in a deeper way, right? Much deeper level compared to the traditional sowing technique. You can see they have put the seeds and they have closed the container, and they will get passed through these white pipes. See, person will drive a tractor. It is connected to tractor. You see how easy the sowing is with the help of this instrument. So this is what we call seed drill. See, through this white color pipes the seeds are falling. This is a container where seeds are there. Through white pipes it is falling, okay, and they are getting fixed in a ground. You can see the seeds. See the seeds, they are going through white pipes, okay. See, this is what we call seed drill. You can observe very clearly. Seeds are going, see, through these white pipe seeds are going and getting added to the ground, right? See, that's what. This is what about the different sowing techniques, traditional as well as seed drill.